Hey there, thinkers! Welcome back to Critical Hit. My name is S, and I figured since we haven't spoken about movies in a while, I found this crazy article from Bounding into the Comics. And well, surprise, surprise, Disney has let yet another DEI project get out of hand yet again. Captain America: Brave New World, or as some would call it, Black America, is floundering harder than a fish out of water, struggling to get its solo film off the ground. And honestly, who's really surprised? Like, take Blade for instance, a character people actually wanted to see. The guy was a black superhero before it was trendy, and yet that movie's stuck in development hell. Why? Because the powers that be are too busy to inject their precious DEI into a story that was already diverse. It's like they're living their worst nightmare. I have a few things to show you, but before I do, I have a small request. If you are new here, subscribe to our channel, smash that like button, and ring the bell to be notified for our next video. This really helps us appease the YouTube algorithm gods, so we thank you. Now, let's get into this. Now, instead of letting characters stand on their own merits, they're tripping over themselves to make sure everything ticks the right diversity boxes. Even those that are already ticked decades ago. I mean, like, come on. Blade was a successful franchise back in the day because it was a good story with a badass lead. Not because it was over-engineered to meet the very modern-day checklist. Now, Captain America: The Brave New World is apparently suffering the same fate. They can't just let the story breathe. They have to smother it with their forced inclusivity narrative. And look at the result. The budget for this train wreck has ballooned to a staggering $375 million. Just imagine what it could have been done with that money if they focused on, I don't know, making a decent film. But no, they'd rather burn cash trying to fix what wasn't broken in the first place. Bravo, Hollywood. Yes, well, hold on to your panties because Black Captain America: Brave New World has reportedly blown its budget to a jaw-dropping $375 million, all thanks to reshoots. It's like they're filming an entirely new movie. And let's dive into this juicy tidbit from Bounding into the Comics. As if Marvel Studios' disaster with Blade wasn't enough, an insider claims that the latest reshoots have sent Captain America: The Brave New World's budget spiraling out of control. Let's get one thing straight. During the early days of the MCU, the direction was nearly flawless. Reshoots were a rare species, almost extinct. But now, it's like every single movie needs a complete do-over. Why? Because there are too many cooks in the kitchen, each with their own conflicting ideologies, trying to figure out how to shoehorn the latest trendy message. No one is on the same page, and it shows in the final product. Seriously, there's no reason a Captain America solo film should cost nearly $400 million. It's absolutely bonkers. This film is practically doomed before it even hits the screen. Now, this is exactly what I mean when I talk about this woke nonsense. If you're going to push certain characters and stories, that's fine. I get it. Captain America, he exists. No problem there. But if you're going to do it, maybe approach it with some business sense. Spending $100 million on it? Heck, that even sounds like a whole lot these days for Marvel. But now we're looking at almost $400 million. Seriously, what are you even doing? Who's in charge over there? Kevin Feige? What's going on? Who's making these decisions? It's like they're just throwing money at the problem without any strategic thinking. If you're going to invest that kind of cash, at least make sure the project has a solid foundation. Let's be real here, $100 million is more than enough to produce a high-quality film if managed properly. But $400 million? That's just burning money. It's like they're trying to focus on making headlines with their budget rather than actually creating a good movie. And in the process, they're alienating fans who just want to see their favorite character brought to life without all the unnecessary baggage. I mean, come on. This is Marvel we're talking about. They should know how to make a blockbuster without going bankrupt, but instead, they're caught up in trying to impress everyone with how woke they can be, and it's clearly backfiring. It's frustrating to watch. So, Kevin Feige, or whoever's steering the ship, what are you even doing? I need answers. This whole situation is ridiculous. Now, despite Sam Wilson battling Hydra and the Flag Smashers, and Even Thanos, his greatest challenge yet, is launching his own solo film, announced hot on the heels of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier finale. The fourth Captain America installment was supposed to hit the screens on May 3rd, 2024. But no, cue the Hollywood drama. First, there was the 2023 Hollywood Guild strike, and faster than a superhero can say, Avengers Assemble. And then Marvel decides to shake up their entire production schedule like it's a game of superhero musical chairs. So naturally, poor Sam Wilson's big screen debut gets shoved all the way to February 14th. Now, assuming they mean 2025 and not 2024, because who knows anymore. You'd think that after saving the world multiple times, our hero could catch a break, but no, bureaucracy and scheduling mishaps proved to be his kryptonite. Here's to hoping delays are worth it, and we finally get to see Sam Wilson soar on Valentine's Day of some distant year. After wrapping its initial filming in 2024, the inevitable reshoots began, a frantic 22-day scramble to salvage what test audiences gleefully trashed. What's the cure for a rejected cut? Well, nothing short of a major surgery. Out went Seth Rollins and his Serpent Society subplot, scrapped like yesterday's news, and in their place, none other than Giancarlo Esposito swooping in as the new villain, because who doesn't love a last-minute villain swap to spice things up? And of course, cue the explosion of more explosions and punches to amp up that adrenaline. But let's be real. This film isn't just DOA, it's an exercise in cinematic resuscitation gone horribly wrong. You know it's bad when they're reshooting more than they shot in the first place, trying desperately to stitch together a coherent story from the wreckage of audience disapproval. Maybe next time they'll consider listening to those pesky test audiences before blowing their budget to what amounts to a high-stakes game of rewrite roulette. Where do I even start with this film? Let's call a spade a spade. This movie, it's practically got flop written all over it in neon lights, thanks to its financial mess. They're not just giving it a slim chance to succeed, they're basically just throwing it to the wolves. Even if you strip away all the woke nonsense, because, let's be real, there's always some woke nonsense in these movies these days, the sheer audacity of slapping nearly $400 million budget on this is just mind-boggling. It's like watching someone bet their life savings on a three-legged horse in a one-horse race. Let's talk about the character. This isn't exactly Batman we're dealing with here. No offense to whoever's wearing the cape, but this hero is more like a distant cousin at the family reunion that nobody remembers until they show up with that really weird dish. Now, I know, cue the inevitable chorus of everyone loves Captain America. I mean, sure, everyone does love the real Captain America, but the one with the shield and the moral compass, not some B-list substitute trying to fill his boots. It's like trying to compare a street mime to Broadway. It's not exactly the same. Marvel must be feeling the burn now. It turns out their claims have turned out to be nothing more than a blend of wishful thinking and PR fluff. Probably a delightful mix of both. Let's be honest, according to The Real's Jordan Remy, who seems to have the inside scoops straight from the chaotic Brave New World reshoot circus, Disney is now looking at shelling out an additional $75 to $100 million on top of the already mind-boggling $275 million budget. I mean, seriously, Kevin Feige, what's the game plan here? Are we trying to bankrupt the mess house with these budgetary antics? Because last time I checked, even assembling the Avengers didn't cost this much. Someone needs to start asking the real hard questions. How are the shareholders not losing their minds over this cash bonfire Disney has been throwing into Captain America's solo flick? Nearly $400 million. Are we funding a space mission or making a damn superhero movie? It's beyond insane. It's reaching the depths of galaxy brain levels of absurdity. At this rate, you'd think that we're aiming for a cinematic spectacle that rivals the moon landing, not a straightforward superhero flick. Maybe next time Marvel should hire financial superheroes instead of just comic book ones to balance their budgets. Now, according to Rumi's well-placed insider, they're treating this like they're filming a whole new blockbuster from scratch. And if this report figure turns out to be the actual budget, which this suggests that the next installment of Captain America Saga would need a staggering $700 to $750 million just to claw its way back to breaking even. Given Marvel Studios' recent streak of underwhelming performances, all I can muster in response to this news is a sincere good luck. You're going to need all the luck in the world because I am struggling to see how you're going to pull off turning this into a profitable venture. I mean, seriously, what is Disney even up to these days? And I know all of you are probably shaking your heads too, like seriously, what the hell am I even thinking? Because honestly, I'm just as bewildered as you are. It's mind-boggling to see how they've managed to keep the circus going. And when are we going to finally put aside all these woke ideologies and start focusing on, oh, I don't know, actually running an actual business? Sure, they're all about first black this, first Spanish that, but come on, Disney. Can't we prioritize getting our act together before we pat ourselves on the back for ticking diversity boxes? I mean, at what point do we sit down and have a real conversation about the state of affairs instead of constantly chasing after these PR stunts? Maybe it's time to buckle down and address the real issues. It's like they're more concerned with virtue signaling than actually making sensible business decisions. When do we stop playing this game and start focusing on what really matters, like running a successful company? However, those are my thoughts on this for now. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel, smash that like button, and ring the bell to be notified for our next video. As always, my name is Est, and I'm signing off now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Toodles!